you for joining us today on Kababayan LA, where now we are going to shamelessly talk about Walang Hiya with Rosella Ilano, the editor of this book that's entitled Walang Hiya. Hello and welcome to Kababayan LA.
Thanks so much for having me, Janelle.
I feel like I'm cussing when I say Walang Hiya, diba? Parang Walang Hiya. It's such a negative, there's such a negative connotation of that phrase, and I wonder why you're using that for the book.
So Walang Hiya is an anthology featuring 32 Filipino writers, and the reason why we decided to use the term Walang Hiya was that we wanted to reclaim the word. Walang Hiya, as you mentioned, has traditionally been used as a word to shame. It's been used as a word to put down those who are different, radical, corrupt. Well, we actually wanted to reclaim that word and put a positive spin on it. And Joy Barrios, the Polanco-winning, award-winning poet and playwright, has been really supportive of the book. And one of the things that she said is that reclaiming words can represent a liberating ideology, and that's what we really hope to do with this anthology.
And I think, first of all, you're creating an intrigue about it. You know, Walang Hiya, it's a book, and you're really wanting to promote Filipino literature through the book, because the Filipino writers as well, and it tells the story of the Filipinos. Do you find that, you know, Filipinos are now more proud to come out? In Hollywood, I see that, right? Yeah?
You know, you raise a really good point, and I think that's one of the main goals of this anthology, is that in our community we have so much appreciation for Filipinos in the arts, in sports, of course, with Manny Pacquiao, in film, in television. Well, we really wanted to inspire that curiosity and appreciation for our rich literary tradition. There's an amazing canon of Filipino writers, writing from Jose Rizal to Carlos Bulosan to today with this anthology. So this anthology not only features really prominent Filipino writers like Philippine poetry winner Eileen Tabios. She won the National Poetry Award in the Philippines, as well as HBO's Deaf Poetry Slant's Reggie Cabico, but a lot of names that are new to print, emerging writers on the cusp.
Okay, I get what you're doing, but the thing is also, we already have an appreciation for that. Is this book meant to just be shared by Filipinos, Filipino Americans, or is it something that you want other nationalities also to pick up and read?
That's a great question. We really talk about Filipino identity and what we're calling Filipino diaspora nationalism, where we have so many people who have immigrated here, and we want them to have an appreciation for the culture, but we're also feeling like this book can transcend to other ethnicities and other immigrant communities as well.
Which is sad, because I know that people have been fighting about this to include Filipino studies in the curriculum, and I know that this book has study guides also, and you're hoping that people like those professors teaching Filipino history and Filipino American experience to their class, to their students, can use that, right? But what about, you know, is there a push to for use of that book in other aspects as well?
Yeah, that's a great question, and the book is actually being used as curriculum at San Francisco State University in the Philippine Literature course, but it can be used not only by Asian American literature courses, but all disciplines interested in understanding identity, understanding the immigrant experience, and understanding what it means to live in this country today.
Sounds good. Where is the book available? Where can we get a copy?
You can get a copy at independent booksellers across the country, as well as online at walanghiyaanthology.com.
And I know that you had an experience putting the stories together. You picked the stories too. What was your criteria in putting together the different stories?
Yes. So myself and I edited along with co-editor Lolan Buhain Sevilla, and what we were really looking for was stories that were fresh perspectives of the Filipino-American experience. And Walang Hiya, the idea of reclaiming that word, was to take this negative word, reclaim it, to tell our stories of our community without fear. So who are these storytellers, these poets who are taking risks in their storytelling?
And if you explain it like that, now I get it. Explaining or telling the story of our community without fear, Walang Hiya. Thank you so much once again for joining us today on the show, and more power to you. Are you thinking of a sequel? Could you? Walang Hiya Part 2?
We'd love to.
All right, well, more power to you for now.
Ang Kababayan LA ay hatid sa inyo ng McDonald's.